Here we are with George. It is October 3rd, 2021, and he is going to share with us a memory of him, Monique, and Ray as children. Take it away, George.
Okay, so we had a family that was very close knit, and I had Monique and her brother, which of course at that time was named Norman. It was only after he went to that West Coast that they baptized him into Ray. But for us, and for me especially, he'll always be Norman. And the three of us had one thing in common. I don't know that it was like we were against the two Jeanettes, but frankly, they had no fucking talent. That's the whole problem. And, you know, Monique danced, Monique sang, Ray played the guitar, sang, composed, and I played the piano. I was the organist and choir director. So the three of us were absolutely filled, chock full of talent. The rest of the family simply had none. But to this day, they will try to tell you that, oh, I could have been a ballerina. She had two left feet, ballerina my ass. There was no way she would ever dance. You could never show them this movie, but at least the family will know the truth now. The other Jeanette learned the piano. She learned one song which she played over and over and over again, and she was smart enough to know that she had no talent in music. She loved to sing, mostly off key. Everybody compared her to Kate Smith because she had the same kind of face and they were both the same size. So, oh, you cannot show this to anybody now. But at least you will know the truth. But Ray and Monique and I, we'd love to get together because I could play the piano, he could play the guitar, and Monique could sing. And during the biggest feast for us, French Canadians, was New Year's, where my grandmother started cooking a week in advance with the meat pies, and notoriously she had this very special dish called sipak. Now it's really not sipak. That's problem with our language. They were not exactly uh, they were not known for their precise languages. I found out later it's called cipatre because there are 6 layers of pastries. But my grandmother, that was her favorite dish, and she only made it once a year. And there was a spice in there. I don't know what it was. And Monique and I found it when I visited them and they took me to Las Vegas. We were having dessert one time and we both looked at each other immediately and said, that's it. But we had had a couple of very potent drinks in these dark glasses, which Kelly tells me she still has. I had one, but I broke it, unfortunately. But it was something we detested. But we loved Mamel's meat pies. But Mamel would not give us meat pies until we tasted this horrible spice, which her children loved. Go figure. But anyway, Monique, Ray, and I used to go in the front parlor in my Aunt Blanche's house where the piano was, and we'd ensconce ourselves there and just sing away because all of us could sing and we had talent. We really did. Monique and Norman, forget it. They took Lewiston by storm. Television was just beginning, and they had their own television program at one point. And of course, I always remember Norman wanted to be called Montana Ray. I still have the picture somewhere of he was dressed up as a cowboy playing the guitar with a foot on some kind of promontory there. And he signed it Montana Ray, but they had a program and they would harmonize together. And I guess Ray sent me a recording of Monique singing. Your father did, yes. And it brought back so many memories because I listened to all of it, and Ray Norman was singing, and then Monique came and sang, and then there was a third person who started singing, and I was listening, and I said, my God, he's off key. That was me. So we forgot about that. We don't talk about that. But my God, I used to go to a boys' camp every summer, and I was the organist and the director of the chapel, the sacristan. And so I was a little kid. I mean, I was by that time, 10 or 11. My father had died when I was 9. So the Dominican priest who owned the camp was very nice to me and would bring me there every summer. But I was interested in the church, the altar, and I remember he was so proud of his little chapel that they had built with pine. And one day, it was going to be the 15th of October, which is a religious holiday in the Catholic Church. So I went and got all of these pine branches, inventive, I thought, and there was this big wall, just wonderful wood, which I then took the branches and stapled them, the whole wall. It was so lovely until Father Clark came, and he didn't think it was really beautiful. He had spent a great deal of money on those walls, so I had to take all of them out, and nothing much they could do about the little holes that were all over the place, but he forgave me, didn't have much choice. But then the story is, every September when I came out, like all boys camp, we had songs that we made up, and I had a standard invitation. I had to go to Norman's house, and Madame Blanche would take a gigantic pillow and would shove it on the phone, because Lord forbid they should phone and then it wrecks the whole recording. And especially when I was singing, my God, why would you want that? So she had put this pillow on this phone, and I have to tell you, it really didn't work, but we never mentioned it. However, I was to record all the songs I had learned that summer. And so Ray had this big recording machine, and I remember the stylus went in and carved its way through this record, and there was my voice for eternity, or as far as I'm going to be living. I don't know what they'll do with it afterwards, but I can come back and haunt them, so there's no real big problem there. But my tante was very, very happy about this, because my Aunt Blanche was a very, very talented woman. There is nothing that you could give her that she could not improve on. And she was well fitted push her children in the right directions. And she recognized talent. My Aunt Blanche played the piano very well, and it was all by ear that she planned. Okay. Have a good afternoon, and we'll see you for supper, right?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, good.
I have a simulation in school.